you've dreamt about this forever. What did it feel like?
Yeah, surreal. I spent the whole game not letting myself, especially when we scored runs, not letting myself get ahead of things, because knowing how quickly things can change. No, it's really, really good. Really good. Yeah, my wildest dreams, I had never thought I'd be sitting up here talking to you guys.
Oh, Tyler in your third row.
Nick, congratulations.
Thank you.
Freddie said he's going to give you the ball, or what? Has he already given you the ball? Or?
No, I haven't seen anybody. It's like it's chaos when that happened.
What are you going to do with it, and what will that memento mean to you?
Oh, God, I'll put it right there on my office. Absolutely. That's God bless him if he does. That's awesome.
And last thing about Freddie, he, like you, is a Braves lifer. What has he symbolized to this organization? What has he meant as a leader?
He's everything that the Braves epitomize. I mean, when you talk about a Braves-type player, it's Freddie Freeman. How he comes to play every day, what he does in our community, the person that he is, the influence he has on all of his teammates, me in particular. I don't know what I'd do without him, quite honestly. I mean, he's my rock, too. I mean, it's like I go to him with things. I've been with him since the first day he came here in the big leagues, and he's everything that the Braves stand for.
All the way back on the right, Alden.
Hey, Brian. There's obviously was so many instances throughout your career with ups and downs, and I guess just sort of moments when you could have just stopped chasing this. I'm just curious, like, what kept pushing you? What kept pushing you to?
Yeah, there were a bunch of different times. I don't know. I think just kind of guys that are in baseball. It's what we do. We fight through adversities. We grind. It's kind of after a while, it's what you do. It's not who you are. It's what you do. And so you can't visualize doing anything else. So you just keep fighting the fight and grinding through, because you never know. Like I said, all them people in the minor league, you never know what could happen. I mean, it happened to me. I got an opportunity, and there's a lot of guys out there in my same type thing that have been through a lot and put their families through a lot, and not everybody gets it. I was blessed enough to get an opportunity.
Is there a moment in your career that you find yourself looking back on today?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. I mean, when I sit and reflect and just everything that you go through, and I've had a lot of moments that I'll probably look back on.
In the last row.
Snit, when Max got stepped on in the first inning, what was your thought there? And just talk about his response after that. Because
that was scary. I was like, it was very scary, really, because I couldn't tell. I was just glad when he got up and threw that everything was good, and then he had a really stressful inning after that. I was just kind of wondering what that was going to take, that whole incident would take out of him, and he rebounded and did a great job, obviously. But yeah, that was a scary moment right there, that especially after what happened to Charlie and all. So I was really glad that he was able to go on.
We'll stay back there with Jesse. Oh, okay. We can go to Bradford and then Gabe.
Hey, Snit. So the list of managers who have led the Atlanta Braves to the World Championship now consists of Bobby Cox and Brian Snitker, and I'm just wondering what comes to mind when you hear that list.
Yeah, gosh, that's another surreal moment, quite honestly, when you put it like that. Wow. Yeah, I can't wait to take that trophy back and show him either. But I'm honored, blessed to be able to be sitting here in front of you guys as a world champion. It's, like I say, it's just not something, something you dream about, but I don't know that you ever feel like it's going to be a reality, honestly.
Go to Gabe in the third row.
Snit, I know you haven't combed through every trade deadline in MLB history, but is it, do you feel like it's pretty safe to say this one is about the best it gets?
Well, best I've experienced, although, getting into the division a few years ago, he dropped 3 pretty good relievers on me at the trade deadline. But probably overall, this is in my experience, probably the best I've ever witnessed, and how a general manager went after this, after everything that happened here. I can't say enough about Alex, and I always say the only thing he's guilty of is he never stops trying to make this thing better. He just is tireless worker. He and his staff trying to make this club better all the time, and he's never going to cash the chips in, ever. If there's ever slightly a chance or a glimmer of hope, he's going to go out and go for it.
Go to Ron and then Mark.
Have you had a chance to speak with Alex since the end of the game? And when
Yeah,
did you
I
find
did.
out he apparently tested positive and
Yeah,
had to
I
stay away?
FaceTimed with him just to congratulate him. He the same. I hate that he's not here, because he's such a big part of all this the last few years.
When did he tell you that he had tested positive? And could
I don't even remember. I just remember FaceTiming him today because he wasn't there. He was sitting in on video, or we'd talk. I talk to him every day, and but I wish he could have been here.
And then on the other thing was Solaire's ball goes out of the stadium. What's going through your mind?
Oh my God, yeah. No, that was but we had one. We had one go out a couple days ago, and it just all I was thinking about is like now we got to hold this lead because we couldn't a couple days ago. So, but he's been swinging the bat so good. I mean, just this whole World Series, he's had some. Even just the walks was taken were really big.
Go to the fourth row on your left, Mark.
Snit, we don't know what the offseason will bring, but can you imagine Freeman wearing another uniform?
Personally, no. I think just Freddie Freeman is an Atlanta Brave. You never know, though. I mean, there's been bigger things that have happened in my career, but can I imagine it? No. Do I hope he signs back here? Absolutely. But you never know in this business what's going to happen.
Go to Steve in the third row.
Congratulations. I wanted to
Thank
ask
you.
you, so many great stories on this team, and you seem to epitomize lots of them as well. I'm wondering if you could take a moment to talk about the highs and lows and the ultimate achievement of your reliever, Matzik, and what he's gone through.
Oh, my God. What a story that is. I mean, that's a book waiting to happen, too, just where he's come and how he's fought back. And I didn't know anything of him. I mean, Walt had him in Colorado, so I got a little insight, when he had him there. And then what he fought through and went back to the independent leagues, and I credit our scouting staff that recognized that and signed him. It's an amazing story, and when you talk about perseverance and gutting through things and adversity, and he embodies all of that, and just to be where he was in this postseason it's amazing how he's allowed himself to do that and come back and what he's meant for our club.
Have you, as his manager, had some, really interesting, but personal moments with him where he's talked about the struggles? And
No, that's not something I'd ask somebody about, quite honestly. Yeah, no, I mean, I just know the guy. I mean, I don't pester those guys or whatever and dig into their personal lives or, I think probably he likes me because the phone rings and his name's on the other end of the line.
Do a couple more for Brian. Mark, did you have one?
Brian, was there a moment in the postseason where you thought we can do this?
Yeah, there was. I don't know specifically, but I think after we got through the first round and beat Milwaukee, because I knew what a challenge that was going to be with their pitching. I mean, and we won that, and then there's, you win a tough game, some close games like we did in Atlanta in the NLCS, and then it's like, you know what, I think we can pull this off. We're pretty good. We're peaking at the right time. Eddie got hot. The pitching was really good, and I did. I honestly thought, I said, you know what, we can pull this off. Yeah.
And we'll finish up with Kyle in the middle.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Ozzie and Dansby, all these guys were on the backfields in Orlando, on the minor league side, 5 years ago. I mean, when you watch them that young, that group, did you sense this could be a special group that had this potential?
It is, yeah. And they have been. They are a special group. Austin, Ozzie, Dansby, Ronald. I remember watching him when I first got this job, and I went to instructional league and seeing him, like, who's that kid? A lot of these guys, just how they've matured and grown, and how mature they were. And they're, like I say, they've had great work ethics and baseball IQ for as long as we've had them. And it's a special group, and as witnessed that, they're world champions.
We'll finish up with Claudia on your left, Brian.
Brian, congratulations. In this Game 6, the pitchers did so well against the best scoring team in the league. How big was the challenge, and how much of this win goes to the pitching staff, starting with Matt?
I think this whole World Series, World Championship, I mean, you can't say enough about our pitching. I mean, just and our, the analytics staff, the game planning that these guys go through with the pitching coaches and Sal and all them, and the young guys that we have that are tirelessly working towards that, and good for us that they all were like throwing their best baseball all year. That whole bullpen. I don't think Will gave up a run the entire postseason. Matzik was just spectacular. Minter, Luke Jackson, all them guys. That did what they did, and that's quite a, we knew going in that was going to be unbelievable challenge with this club and how they are offensively.
Snick, congratulations. Thanks for everything.
Okay,
this
thank you.
postseason. Very